Everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios, brought to you by our official sponsor, the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Wilson Zia Missing, available on Amazon. Well, this just went missing, by the way, and now it's been found. So catch it on Amazon, and coming soon, Missing 2 by Mia Wilson Zia, and make sure this does not go missing. That's what happens when books are so popular. Also brought to you by Lunatically, Think Tank of the Future. The Sweet Song is by Serena Wagner and its rightful place, based on the life of King David, available on Amazon. Keyword Sweet Song with Serena Wagner. Also Bright High Tan Music, featuring the smash hit Baby Come Back. Check the latest at hightan.com. We're here with the amazing author, founder of SIP, which is the Center for Intuitive Food Therapy, multi-modality healer, and advanced certificate in food healing. Also a bachelor's in food science, dietetics, nutrition, and also writing a 7-volume series on feed your chakras and beyond career playing cards. What kind of cards is it? She's also got a new book, which is High Vibrational. Live, ladies and gentlemen, at Play Studio somewhere in beautiful Southwest Florida, along the Gulf Coast, the amazing author, founder of SIFT, and also multi-modality, and the book High Vibrational Wellness, Intuitive Healing Therapies to Nourish Your Body. So a little food for thought, ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented Lainie Sevante Wulkan. Lainie, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Wow, thank you. What an introduction. I do a lot of these, and that was wonderful.
Well, you got an amazing story as well, too. And so, just to make you hungry for more, you're an author, founder of SIF, which is the Center for Intuitive Food Therapy. You're a multi-modality healer, advanced certification, food healing, and also theta healing, and also a Bachelor of Science in Food Science, Dietetics, Nutrition from Cal State Northridge. You're currently writing a 7-novel series and been career playing cards, later attending college, and helping one of Hollywood's top vegan chefs. And you have a new book offering insights on making food fun and healthy. Again, while you're creating inner peace after emotionally abusive relationships, taking comfort food to a whole new level. Before getting on it, Lainie, tell us how I first got started.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's a
Way
very
back, way back.
way back. If I'm going to really go way back, I would say that I was born into a very intuitive family.
Mm-hmm.
And I always was fascinated, even as a child, with oracle cards and tarot cards and all that sort of divination stuff. I've always studied religions my whole life, but I just remember early on being very fascinated about how our internal intuitive mechanisms work, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very natural for me to be able to do these sort of esoteric readings intuitively. And at the same time, I was always very interested in food. I think as a younger child, I was very much like a germaphobe. I was also a little bit of a hypochondriac. I was always studying like food, like staring at it to see in the refrigerator, what's the expiration date? And does that have mold on it? Like it just became a little bit of an obsession.
Sounds like
And
Costco.
it sounds like Costco.
They're
Well, I don't
always
know.
checking.
There wasn't even a Costco back in those days, so, but in any case, I ended up getting a degree in food science and dietetics and nutrition, kind of learning the why of food and how and what does it do and what happens when you actually put something in a microwave and, those sort of things very much interested me. I've been a little bit of a science nerd, but at the same time, I came from this very spiritual family, very intuitive. And so 30 years later, sort of going along the journey of working with different chefs and being a food healer myself and always being a foodie, it really seemed to be like the best of both worlds all these
Mm-hmm.
decades later, where the idea about 5 years ago was to kind of combine spirit and science. And the first product that was, if you will, channeled or brought to me in meditation, people can call them food flashcards. I'm calling them oracle cards, but
Hmm.
it was taking an understanding that food had a message and our bodies, just like you said, food for thought. You are what you eat. All these things, trust your gut. All these things started to come to like make greater sense, not just be a cliche or something that a slang word is phrase that people say. And then I just started to understand that food does have very much a vibration. And there's food that is dead, and there's food that's alive. There's food that enlivens our body and makes us healthy, and there's food that breaks our body down because it's harder to digest and understand some of the complicated ingredients. So all of that came to fruition, no pun intended there, to make what I think has been a big bounty, because the Food Healing Oracle deck ended up in the last 5 years going to 35 countries. And through that, those teachings, I've been able to continue on creating other books, like you mentioned, Top Exotic Foods for Natural Healing and Smoothies, and now this latest book, High Vibrational Wellness. So that's sort of the thumbnail sketch of the last a lot of many years, 50 years.
Oh my gosh, you really are connected, and I'm really hungry. And was it one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you do in the rest of your career?
What was the precise moment?
Yes,
I
light bulb moments that says, I'm gonna do this.
It was the moment when I realized I can combine all of my passions. And I was in the middle of a food healing training, learning more about food about 5 years ago. And a colleague and mine and I started to talk. We were doing meditation albums. And we were both recording artists doing meditations. And it was like, well, what is our other passion? And I said, well, obviously food. And I was in the food healing course, and I thought, wow, what if I sat quietly and determined that food has more meaning than just what am I going to have for dinner tonight? And it
Uh-huh.
did. So the precise moment was, oh my goodness, there is information coming through me, guidance from above, call it however you want it, in prayer and meditation, but I was receiving information that I felt was very worthy and divine. And in that regard, I started to write down what those words are. And that has really taken all my decades of wisdom, whether it be scientific, hardcore science, or it's actually the spiritual side, and put it into. So the moment was, wow, let's do something that would create a change in understanding when we go to that grocery store or we go to the farmer's market, wherever you buy your food, or Costco, wherever it is. What is it when I want to say, what am I going to have for dinner night? And our eyes fixate on something, there's a meaning to that. Our bodies, call it spirit or soul or our intuition, want this body to preserve. So it's always feeding you the correct information. So it's providing you the little hints, like maybe, wouldn't it be great to have broccoli tonight? Wouldn't it be great to have butternut squash, artichokes,
Or
tomatoes, something
pizza.
with pasta? Well, pizza. Well, and you can look at that. I mean, I love pizza. I wouldn't say it's good for you on the daily, but there are some components to it, if you broke it down, that would have some sensibilities. But yeah, you could say that, or you can understand, like, is that in my highest and best to always eat foods um, about what is best for my body? And what is best for is pizza best for your body every day? Do you really think that it is? Or some people can eat it every day. I doubt it's going to be good for them. Our bodies know better if we listen to it.
Mm-hmm. The one thought crossed my mind as well too. How certain foods creates certain reactions and everything. You know, I was hearing stories about pizza actually like giving you nightmares or giving you visions or whatever else like that. Is that really true about pizza?
I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't even, I'd have to read the study. I'd have to see what it was based on. I've never heard of that before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
that was
you know,
something.
if someone's lactose intolerant and they're eating foods, like, we don't know. We don't always know all the reactions people have individually. Some people cannot do tomato sauce.
Uh-huh.
Very bad. It can help, people with arthritis. There are other people who cannot touch tomatoes or nightshades. And maybe that's it. Like, we don't know. When we see these general articles, you have to go diving deeper to understand that, really,
Mm-hmm.
if that's what it's why people are saying certain things, because that's how I think that's how, kind of like that game of telephone. Someone said this and now everyone believes it. You got to really look at, either take things with a grain of salt or really do the research.
Hmm.
There's a lot of stuff out there that's not true. Fake
Hmm.
news.
Right. Yeah. It's almost like a party line effect too. Social media, Facebook, and everything. And what are some of your favorite foods you like to eat?
Well, I love artichokes. I'm a big fan of artichokes. I mean, I'm a veggie lover. I like all asparagus. I like green vegetables. I'm a pretty much a vegetable eater. That's not to say that I don't want to go and have all my breads and cheeses. I do sometimes. I travel a lot. I do retreats. They're called Nourish Your Soul retreats, where I take people all around the world for a week and I match them up. We do cooking classes and I have chefs prepare foods that are high vibrational. And I teach them how that food can affect us emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Hmm. And
So
certainly
yeah.
does, and certainly indeed, you also talk about some of the chefs you work with. We'll find out who she worked with Lainie Sevante Wulkan and the book High Vibration Wellness. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com. It's powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable, customized designs that blow the competition away. Call today 1 800 303 3960. That's 1 800 303 3960 or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor, the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, one target, where truth is illusion and those who love you first go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson Z has got great reviews. An evil evidence endorsed by Howard celebrities including Joanna Constantine, Forge Riley, Emmons. So grab your copy today. Virgo's Missing by Mia Molson Z, available on Amazon. Coming soon to Amazon, Missing 2 by Mia Molson Z. Double the suspense, double the fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also, Mike Wenner's show is brought to you by Illumnitical, think tank of the future, bring scientists and engineers together from all over the world, creating a method, construct a renewable generator. This unique product operates on a closed loop system, generating more energy internally that needs to function. The electricity can be used to run everything from homes, power grids, phones, laptops. This power source is renewable, highly scalable, most importantly, self-regenerating. Visit facebook.com/Illumnitical. That's ELLUMENIPTICAL today. Also, Mike Wagner's show is brought to you by Sweet Summits by Serena Wagner, based on the life of King David, including 30 exquisite paintings and King David songs. Sweet Psalms gives a new perspective of David through the Psalms he wrote and his time as a shepherd where it started, and complicated yet turbulent relationship with King Saul, story of love, betrayal, repentance, hope, and more. Check out the Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner on Amazon. Keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also brought to you by High 10 Music, featuring the Smash Hit Baby Comeback. New music coming soon. Check it out. High10music.com. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com on 40 podcast platforms. Support us on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Take us with you on a mobile device. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and most importantly, iHeartRadio, Spotify, as well, and Spreaker. Also, for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Me and Molson's. Great books, merchandise, coming soon. Missing 2 on Amazon. Check it out today. We're here with the amazing author, founder of SIFT and the multimodality healer, Lainie Sevante. Welcome here, Mike Wagner Show, the book High Vibrational Wellness. And you also worked with one of the top vegan chefs of Hollywood. You could say we helped out. And who are some of the chefs you worked with? And who was your biggest influence?
Yeah, so early on, I must have still been in my teens, and I was in college actually, now that I think about it, and I had the opportunity to work for a chef who worked for a lot of high-profile celebrities, and they were very spiritual, and they were giving me I was very influenced because they would start to show me that when you talk over your food, almost that your food is listening, meaning if
Even
you are
over coffee and tea. Hey, how you doing? How
well,
you doing?
it's kind of like a conversation because the truth of it is, if you're upset or mad or having an argument, your food tastes differently. It can feel those lower vibrations. And it's always a good idea to be in a good mood while you're cooking your food. It's always better to, your food will taste better, it will digest better when it's got the energy of love and joy and peace versus anger and jealousy and rage and anger. You just don't want those things around your food. You're putting your energy into your body. You might as well keep it. So I was very influenced by that. And I was also very influenced by Dr. Emoto. Are you familiar with Dr. Masaru Emoto? He's a great, for those who aren't familiar, he was an amazing, he's since now passed, but he was an amazing scientist who studied that you can actually put a word on water and look under a microscope and it will show the frequency of it. For instance, he put the word love on water, and underneath the microscope, it was this beautiful crystalline structure. It looked like a perfect snowflake. And then he put the word hate underwater and looked on water, and he looked under the microscope, and there was nothing beautifully crystalline. It was all distorted and different colors. It was not
Wow.
a perfect snowflake. So he determined that words have a frequency, and I found that fascinating. So I felt to myself, well, food is mostly made out of water. And so what if I put a word on to food, just like he put a word on to water, and food was mostly made out of water. So that's part of my, just part, but a very interesting part of how these cards, the Food Healing Oracle deck, came into being, because I put the word clarity on blueberries and I put
Mm.
the word love on strawberries and I put the word, give me a fruit or a vegetable or an herb, or give me something and I'll tell you what the word is.
Okay, can I play this one? How about carrot?
Carrots, empowerment. So when someone pulls the carrots card and they get the word empowerment, it's something for them to look at. Is there something that is asking them to become more empowered? Is there something that's creating disempowerment in their life? Is there a reason why we are doing certain things that are keeping us from stepping into being more empowered? And you look at carrots, which are a root vegetable, they're rooted into the earth. And that is a very strong place to be grounded. So if someone feels disempowered, they feel like their power has been taken away, actually eating an earth food like carrots would help them kind of get grounded so they can kind of like pivot or make a new game plan or really
Mm.
evaluate what's going on in them.
That's interesting. How about another word I'm going to throw at you? Apple.
Apple, my favorite. Apples are actually abundance in our deck. So let's think about it. Johnny Appleseed, right? Yeah, here's
Mhm.
another what metaphor? Apple day keeps the doctor away.
Yes,
Apples,
exactly.
right? So apples so incredibly good for us. But yes, it's our abundance card because many things that you can look at, so many things around apples. You know, a teacher is abundantly the person who gives you the wisdom to learn in life. And so there's an abundance of learning through a teacher. The big apple, there's so much happening there that's very abundant. But apples themselves are extremely abundant in nutrition and they offer so much. And the length of vitamins and minerals and phytochemicals and antioxidants and fiber, it's are astounding. They have an abundance of them. So yeah, that is, when someone pulls the card and depending on what questions people ask and they get that card, yeah, you can bet that something really good's happening. It's not one of the darker cards because there are some cards, right? We live in a world of duality. Not everything's like unicorns and rainbows all the time, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
Yeah, we
Or
we have
not
some of those.
flying strawberries or flying ice cream or like, chocolate rivers and everything like that.
That's very Willy Wonka of you, I think.
See, I was involved with food for quite some time. I even grew up watching Chef Julia and watching Julia Child do her cooking and singing and oh my gosh, I made a mistake.
I love your impersonation. Her voice was always so
Oh
very,
yes, I love
very
Julia.
Yeah, I mean, I love chefs. I've always loved them. What I'm really finding now very exciting for me, because I told you my decks are in 35 countries, that chefs are calling me saying they are making intentional meals using the foods and the words on the cards. So
Oh,
they're
wow.
if they want to make us, then this is where I started to make the smoothies. I took all the cards, which are 60 in the first deck, and I said, okay, people are on the go and they want a great healthy meal. Let's make an intentional smoothie. So, for instance, one of the foods in the deck is soursop.
Hmm.
Really very strong food. Not many people know about it. I talk about it in my top exotic foods, but that's a great cancer crusher. Lots of
Oh.
National Institute of Health studies about soursop. So it's our miracles card. So you can actually blend soursop in your blender and say, today I am intending to have miracles. And you're telling your body that. So it's kind of like how that all works. But yeah, so I feel that you can actually work with chefs. They can make intentional meals. In fact, what had happened is we created 60 cards in this first book. And for 2 years, people would say, what about this food? What about that food? And chefs would say, we want more food to cook with. So 2 years later, maybe two and a half, a second volume came out with 60 more foods.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so now there's 124 cards because there's two decks. This is the first one. It looks like that. What did I pull? I pulled mushrooms for magic. And
Oh.
then and then this is the second deck. So this is integration, gack fruit. Very interesting. I always like to educate foods that people might not know of because one day suddenly it's going to be all over the news. Like everyone's talking about moringa, everyone's talking about soursop, but they weren't before. But I've had these in my deck for years. So I want people to be educated on some of these foods. And that's what I talk about in my little healing handbook, Top Exotic Foods. I took the 10 most interesting foods that I felt were exotic but very good for the body and people might have not heard. I tell them how to get them. And then I give these little National Institute of Health studies that say, yes, this one is for diabetes, fighting diabetes, lowering diabetes. This one's for cholesterol. This one's for cardiovascular. This one's for cancer. And it's not just me saying, oh, okay, I put a word on food. I'm showing you that there's the science. These food is medicine. There's a reason Hippocrates said it way back. So that's
Hmm.
what I'm sharing. And now there's two decks. So getting back to chefs, yes, chefs are now cooking worldwide and making meals. And when I take people on retreats around the world, I'm working with chefs and they're cooking according to the foods that I have created with the words associated with
Hmm.
them.
You talk about word association and phrases early as well too. When it comes to chefs and everything, like say a phrase or something. Let's say, "I love you." What meal would come out of it?
Well, if you want to have a meal of love, I would be working with strawberries. Strawberries is our love card. And so I would be, it could be a smoothie, it can be a wonderful dessert, it could be strawberry pie, it can be something, a strawberry, fruit salad. I did an event once. I went to a party and was showing them this concept, and the outcome is this beautiful salad. And the
Wow.
salad was all the colors of the rainbow. And everyone's like, woo, wow, ooh, that's so beautiful. And I said, yes, now imagine this is true in this moment. You're not only eating this beautiful salad, but you are really eating love, joy, acceptance, magic, connection.
Ah.
And then they started to look at the foods, which I just mentioned several foods that have these words related to them. And now they're eating the salad with love, joy, acceptance, miracles, that. And you're telling your body, I'm just eating a whole bunch of high vibrational energy. It's very different than I'm just eating a beautiful salad. That's wonderful. That's like, this level, but I'm taking them to the high vibrational level of like telling your body, I'm about to eat all these things that are like great for me. So I always say I'm good at dinner parties or people who have my books and teachings because you never look at food the same way again. You start to understand, like, okay, tomatoes, action. Do I need to take action? Do I need to be making decisions? Do I need to be activating something? It's a fire element, that red. you know, eat red, get ahead, red bell peppers, red tomatoes. Red is that
Oh, I
fire
never thought of
energy.
that phrase. Eat red, get ahead. I like that one. And what about red meat? Would that be like the same principle? Like get ahead if you eat red meat?
Well, I can't really comment on that because my opinions may differ than everybody else's. I mean, I don't eat meat, and so other people live on meat. Some people say meat grounds them. Other people will say that meat is energy that's dead. So, like, that's a whole conversation, and this ain't that because that can get into vegan versus non-vegan. What I look to do is share foods that everyone can eat, whether you're a carnivore, herbivore, whether you're a breatharian, fruitarian, pescatarian. There's so many Aryans,
Hmm.
but I really think that no matter what diet, it's always good to have fruits, vegetables, herbs, nuts, and spices.
Okay.
So I stay in that realm and I stick to it.
Okay. I came up with another phrase as well, too. My team won today.
Your team won today?
Yes. What foods will associate or like say what would you present? Like say your team won.
Well, did the team already win or you want the team to win?
They already won.
Well, we have a celebrate card, and that actually is anise. Do you know anise? It's like a spice, kind of like a
Oh,
licorice.
really? Okay.
Yeah, and if we weren't, speaking so fast, I would be like able to pull some of these cards as I get them out to show you. But yeah, so I was gonna say if the team hadn't won yet, I would be having you eat a lot of apricots. You know why?
Oh, yum.
Apricots are a manifest card. So we want to manifest a good win for the team. So you can actually eat some apricots to get you there. But yeah, anise is our celebrate card, and I have 124 cards, so it will take me too long to find it. You'll just have oh, lucky you, here it is. Here is our celebrate card, anise.
Ah, nice. Looks like a little chocolate. Reminds me of the chocolate stars I used to buy as a kid.
Do you like chocolate?
I'm a huge chocolate fanatic.
Me too. Me
Goes
too. I
great with
have to say.
strawberries all the time. It even goes better with raspberries too. They may sound like strange, but chocolates and strawberries always a sign of love, but chocolates and raspberries, it's a great alternative.
Well, I love chocolate covered apricots. And chocolate actually in our deck is called indulgence.
Uh-huh.
And it's a very interesting thing because of course people don't just love chocolate. They are obsessed with chocolate. It sounds like you, like me, are a chocoholic. And it's also about indulging in sometimes we give too much and we need to have some self-indulgence. Like, take the trip, go on, have the chocolate, eat the cake. Don't judge yourself. Just be okay with it. And if you need to pull back the next time, pull back the next time. But anyways, I can't find it that quickly, but the chocolate card is in there and it's my favorite. In my third deck, I'll be writing more foods, believe it or not. Um, I'll have cacao. So there's
Cacao,
chocolate and
yes,
then
that
there's
is the
cacao.
ultimate. Yes, cacao. I love that one.
Yeah, very, very good for you. Heart health. Oh my God. Bones. It's got the list of theobromine just alone is incredible.
Oh
So
my gosh. You know something too? It even goes well with tea as well too. And tea also has some really interesting aspects, even tells stories and also associating with vibrations and everything else. Tea is actually
look
really
at you.
important.
It must be meant to be because the foods that you just were talking about, I was able to pull it quickly. So first off, here's our apples card.
Uh-huh.
Abundance. See it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then here is our chocolate card.
Uh-huh.
And then here is our tea. Tea is calm. And it's
Nice.
interesting. Yeah, and one of my businesses, I'm the proud US importer of Nourish Your Soul Ayurvedic teas. They are
Uh-huh.
teas that have been cultivated from the base of the Himalayas. And these teas are so good, and they're called good. Good immunity, good blood pressure, good weight, good eyes, good skin, good hair. There are just 13 of them. But teas are very incredible. I mean, that's why they've been around forever in all cultures. So that's That's kind of a sign if you pulled that card, things, look at what can you do to calm your nerves, your feelings, staying calm, it's saying slow down sometimes.
That is rather interesting. I like that. And of course, you also had a thing on there where it's like you have people that had issues with food, like, a certain food associated with a trauma as well. And how do you manage to have a person get over that trauma or deal with that trauma? Let's say that I'm just trying to think of an example. Let's say someone splattered tomato in your face and they hate tomatoes for the rest of their life. That's just an example. Or they choked on a mushroom, or let's see, what else could I think of a scenario? Or maybe somebody burned corn the wrong way or something.
You're bringing up some really good questions, and you're kind of referencing this new book, High Vibrational Wellness, because we do talk about, in fact, there's 25 authors, and the authors do share their traumas. This one had, a bad relationship. This one had, they go on with all their different situations, and they each chose a different way to come out the other side, if you will. Because when you think about, it's not always just food that we put into our body. When I talk about, and I didn't call it high vibrational eating, I called it high vibrational wellness. And it actually was eventually high vibrational eating. It started off with high vibrational eating. Then I started to think when people are going through life's traumas and highs and lows and tribulations, it's there's it's not just the food we put in our body. It's the food we feed our thoughts, and it's also how we're feeding our soul. So food is all the levels of wellness. And so I gathered people who were not only chefs and food healers and food coaches and all that good stuff, but I gathered people who were also experts in Reiki and who were in tapping, all these different healing modalities because they eat meditation, astrology, oh my gosh, the list goes on, numerology, meditation, breathing, yoga, color therapists. Each one of them provides some sort of tool in this book that allows you to answer those questions because not everybody is going to resonate with one versus the other. So we provided 25 ways to look at healing those traumas of all the things you mentioned and a billion more. And they share not they don't just say, "Hey, this is what I do." They say, "Hey, this is what happened to me." This is a book that anyone can read any of those stories and feel like they would relate to somehow something in their lives because we've all been through something. And these stories help you realize you're not alone. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why it went number one in so many countries.
Mm-hmm. And maybe you can share a couple of stories about the examples, like say with how certain food can heal a certain one, maybe just a couple examples, and what is their food and everything like that.
Yeah. Well, let me just this is a book you're talking about, High
Yes.
Vibrational Wellness. And I just wanted to read a couple and then I can answer that. So, someone wrote Finding Your Balance, a colorful recipe for your soul, Breaking Through the Static, The Man in the Stone, Numerology Nutrition, Conquering Negative Thoughts, Nourish Your Soul with Mindfulness Mantras. And it goes on, breaking the ancestral cycle using EFT to heal emotional eatings from generational wounds.
Mm.
Very powerful that sometimes we make choices, whether we hate something or we love something or we overindulge, and it's because it's hereditary. It's because great grandmother did it and grandmother did it and mother did it and now I'm doing it. And so we give you many different ways. And so, in terms of food, in terms of healing, it depends on what's going on. I mean, I remember a 17-year-old went up to, came to one of our events and said that they had healed their digestive issues because they were using some of the protocols in the teachings, meaning they would actually pull card each day and say, "What does my body need right now?" And it's like this magical way of talking to your own spirit. And it would be foods that were more alkaline because they were choosing foods like acidic, tomatoes acidic, or other foods. They were choosing foods before that was causing heartburn and indigestion. And so it was the cards and their own intuition were saying, I need to have foods that are more neutral, cucumbers. I need to have foods that are more alkaline. Artichokes, my goodness, 13.99.
Hmm.
So food is medicine. When we start to pause, go back to like listening, what do I need? Open up the refrigerator. What foods would be great for me right now? I teach my chapter in this book. It's called, a cosmic roadmap. And I give you a prayer that you can say before you go into the grocery store. And it allows you to get really clear. What does my body need right now for its highest and best? Not yesterday and not tomorrow. Like right now, when I go shopping, what do I need? And this is really important that people stay very present with their choices.
Hmm. And what about those with PTSD? That's the most big thing going on right now. Those with PTSD.
Huge. PTSD is huge. So there are foods that calm. We just talked about tea. There are foods that can create balance. Cucumber. PTSD, there's a lot of mental health. Peppermint, very soothing.
Oh,
Um,
yes, yes. My wife drinks peppermint tea. Very delicious. I haven't
very
had,
delicious.
uh-huh. And in fact, I'm having raspberry tea right now as we speak here.
Raspberry tea. Raspberry is interesting. Raspberry in our world would be the reflection card. It's reflecting. It's, taking time to think about all that is right in your world and all the things that may need to leave to keep moving up the world, the ladder of success. Reflect is a really wonderful card. I'll tell you, I had somebody once. Are you familiar with the chakra system? Or is that
Yes, I am.
Sure. So the chakra system, there's seven energy centers in the body, and the one that you speak and communicate is your throat chakra. So it was very interesting. She said to me over and over, and anyways, I'm going to tell you, she says, I don't speak my truth. I don't stand up for myself. I verily express what I really want to say. She says, I have throat chakra issues. What would help me? And she goes, and before you answer that, she said, I've been craving radishes for about 2 weeks. And
Radishes.
I
Interesting.
laughed inside. So she said to me, what is the radish card? Just out of curiosity. You ready for this? It's our communicate card.
Ha. Interesting. It makes me
It
think
was,
of horseradish. It's like, horsing around and also great with steak and everything like that. I'm learning a lot about food, I'll tell you.
I'm telling you, I say you'll never look at food the same way again. I was hoping I can find that radish card quickly. Yep, here it is. So I told her, you've been craving radishes because that's what's up for you, is to start communicating and take the plunge and start saying how you feel. Start employing empowerment. Radish and carrots, right? So I take this language in this wisdom, and that's how I started making recipes that work for the body.
Hmm. And
And
going
that's
back
what I teach.
and going back to with PTSD and everything, and peppermint is really good and everything. What else would be good for PTSD besides peppermint?
Well, we have sweet potato. Sweet potatoes are comfort card. Foods that calm, foods that bring that sense of comfort. Sweet potato is really one of those big ones that do that. Butternut squash, that's our support card. And I'll tell you, speaking of PTSD, we had a group of people all came together. No one knew the other. And as it turned out, after talking, there were 4 or 5 of them there, that each one of us had lost a pet within 2 months.
Oh,
And
wow.
we thought, well, that is unique. This whole group just lost a pet. Well, why don't we make a meal? Why don't we just pull some cards and think about how we can feel less traumatized by the loss of all of our pets? Sure enough, we pulled sweet potato for comfort. We pulled butternut squash for support. We pulled rosemary for remembrance.
Huh.
And we pulled ginger for feelings. And we said, wow, we just talked about getting the support we need to remember our lost pet and to feel into being now comforted by each other that we all are grieving together and we're all going to heal together. And we made a soup.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I know, right? So yes, there are certain foods that you can pull. In fact, I'm going to just pull a card randomly and just say on the Mike Wagner show, what food in this now moment would be great for PTSD? In case someone's listening and they just want some hope besides the peppermint. I'm just going to take this deck of cards and I'm just going to just ask that question to the universe. And we've been talking about this one a lot is action.
The
Tomatoes.
tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Now,
Yes.
one thing I can tell you about tomatoes also is tomatoes are a fire element. It's taking action. It's not sitting back and kind of, you know, being passive about our healing. It's about taking action, reading a book, seeing a counselor, getting some help, eating some foods. But tomato is like, let's get into gear. Let's find our way out of this darkness and into the light.
That is really interesting. And of course, a few more we'll have with Lainie Sevante Wulkan of High Vibrational Wellness. To get that in just 1 minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SoundCloud Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's in Missing. Also brought to you by Illuminatical, think tank of the future. The Sweet Summits by Serena Wagner, based on the life of King David on Amazon, and High Time Music. Check out the latest at hightimemusic.com. We'll be back with the author of High Vibrational Wellness, Lainie Sevante Wulkan, after this time up. We're back to the author of High Vibrational Wellness, Lainie Sevante Wulkan, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And just a couple of things. And how can we help with this cause? And how can we encourage one another to eat the foods and everything else? Maybe just your last thoughts about the book.
Well, first off, you can get the book anywhere in the world. We've hit #1 in many, many countries. You can go right to Amazon and grab it. You can come to my website and I'll sign you a little intuitive message. And that's at SIFT Official, CIFT official.com. And not only that book is there, but also the other books we talked about, Top Exotic Foods for Natural Healing. Those are the ones with the research studies from the National Institute of Health. And then also my smoothie books and these food healing oracle deck cards. They're all there. A little bit more about me is there and some of the retreats I talk about going on. So it's the Center for Intuitive Food Therapy. That's what SIFT stands for. And it's an absolute hub of classes, activities, resources on how we can be our own best intuitive healer for ourselves, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually.
And we'll certainly check that as well too. We're with author Lainie Sevante Wulkan of High Vibrational Wellness here on the Mike Wagner Show. Just a couple of things. What else can we expect from you in 2025 and beyond?
Oh, thank you. Well, I have 3 wonderful global retreats where I'll be doing my wisdom and food healing readings in global events, global locations. I'll be doing some speaking, but my next experience that I would like to bring out to the world is a 7 chakra series, how to feed your chakras. Because if people learn more about these energy systems in the body and how you can actually have the foods, although we teach it in these books, we go a little bit deeper in these, and there'll be 7 little modules. So the root chakra, which is our lowest first chakra, will come out first. So I see the 7 series books coming out amongst some other projects, and I have a lot of speaking engagements. People are really waking up. I was just in Chicago, and I mean, the number of people I keep thinking know about this, and then I go to somewhere at a presentation, and it's like new information all over again. It's like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
food has a whole new meaning. Look, I'm holding the guava card. It's
Oh,
wealth.
nice, nice.
Wealth. Have some guava in your life or bring some wealth. And I'm decoding. I'm decoding food like you haven't seen before. It's just a really amazing ministry in a way.
That sounds amazing as well, too. Looking forward to that. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Wow. I've had so many. I don't even think I could say it's this person or that person because at each stage of the game, someone's influenced me for that moment in life that really kind of changed the trajectory of like, okay, now I'm going this way, now I'm going that way. If anyone, I would say it's my husband because he has been my cheerleader, supporter, my advisor, and he's always, we call him Merlin. He's such an intuitive himself. And I have to say that he very much has been an influence for me on staying on track because this is unique teachings. It's not like everyone is a Reiki person or this is a very unique combination of a skill set and now bringing it out to the world and seeing how well it's received. It's like, okay, I'm just sticking to my truth. I'm staying in my truth. Bok choy is our truth card. I'm staying in my bok choy and sticking to it.
And certainly sticking as well, too. That is very amazing. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Trust your gut. Take the time to trust the little nudge, the chills up your arm, the voice inside, the moment to just give yourself a little bit of pause before you act. Like breathe, pause, reflect, respond, and you will be guided. And that's in everything, but it's absolutely also in regards to the food you eat. Trust that you will be guided what's for your highest and best.
And certainly amazing as well, too. So let's all eat after this here. So we'll do that. Celebrate.
Celebrate Anise all the way.
You got it. That's right. We're with the author, Lainie Sevante Wulkan of High Vibrational Wellness here on the Mike Wagner Show. Lainie, very big. Thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to
Thank
date.
you.
Keep in touch. We'll have you back. And once again, what's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your books?
Awesome. Center for Intuitive Food Therapy.com or SIFT, CIFT official.com, or you can pop over to Amazon. They've got a couple of my books there, both in paperback and in digital ebook download.
All right, we'll certainly check that out. Once again, Lainie, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'll laugh at you back. We wish you all the best. And Lainie, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you very much. Take care. Appreciate being here.